Okay, let's win it with. Uh, Hold on. And that's nice. Let's win it with.
Currently on the stream there's no sound, but you can't hear our commentary because
Yeah, that's fixed. There's some technical difficulties.
yeah, like the only thing we can hear is ourselves and also fuck you guys.
It works. Don't swear on stream. Okay, back to the commentary.
Sorry.
There's technical difficulties here. They tend to happen occasionally.
Okay, by the way, it's like more in the commentary box here.
Yeah. We've seen the first few lap times come in, and the fastest lap of is this graph with the two Ferraris actually topping out the front row right now, with the clouds in the background.
Red Bull and Blake Moore, as I just said that, there's Franco Gama in the Force India, literally taking 4th place.
Exactly. As their graph goes in, here's the second man, Miran FG. As there in the meantime, Mohammed Patel, then the Red Bull, goes in 3rd. It's 4 times down pretty much. And I think now a lot of people start to set in the lap times, and now everyone is set in the lap times. And the gaps are pretty big there from the top 4 to top 5. 1.4 seconds.
Goes the P11, that's a brilliant lap by the German. Currently he's on fire, the stubborn driver, unless we won't age well. Oh god, that's bad. Okay, that's so smart. Okay, that's both so.
As in the meantime, we see FG putting in the fastest lap of them all still. Graf setting in the fastest lap of them all. But really, Graf knows how to get himself around the street circuits, but now we have FG here, who is in P2, and he of course wants to improve himself, as we've seen. The two Ferrari teammates have had some tension before already. In the European Grand Prix, for example, on the Nürburgring, we saw them running into each other's way there. We trip on each other.
Probably doesn't happen again here in Singapore, because you know, friction between us two is ever so higher.
That's definitely not what you want in the team. High tensions. But Blake, how are you feeling about the performances of the Force India right now? As he is 1.4 seconds behind.
I'm actually surprised that Gama is doing really well. He's trying to outperform the Force India, and even Kulsic as well, trying to moving up into P6 as well. I think I'll say both really good lap by the midfield drivers.
Of the Force India. There's still 1.6 seconds towards the pole, man. There's still this graph, of course, so there's still improvement to be found there for them. But in the meantime, look at who's that. Jesper Johansson struck traffic. 4.1 seconds down. He is definitely in trouble with the McLarens there.
Oh god, it's basically Singapore. It's Monza 2020 all over 2020. Oh god damn it! I was trying to make a joke, it didn't work. So
don't worry about making mistakes, mate. We all do.
1.6 seconds down.
It's my second time doing commentary.
There's just a little train. There's a Red Bull of, I think, Klaus behind him actually. Yeah, the traffic is really coming in play right now, as the front McLaren is refusing to let him past. I don't know if he's on a flying lap or something, but that's really, well, really.
I think the stewards need to have a look at that, but I don't know if we have stewards yet. But because the stewards don't even exist in Hungary, because we all know what happened.
That is indeed correct. But now let's focus on this races here. Johansson, even though he's in the faster car, he can't get close.
He can't overtake to the McLarens.
Yeah.
Because I think he's lost 3 seconds in the second sector, which will be terrible news for the Swedish driver.
Yeah. There's a little luck up there actually. Yeah? Well, why not? You know. Singapore looks beautiful in the meantime.
And we got Williams at the back, and it's Frederick Psuto.
There is in the meantime. Let's see. Was it Paretsky or McIntyre? I think it's McIntyre ahead. It's McIntyre, and he's 4.3 seconds down as well. He should have let him pass there. Here goes Paretsky, who is on his lap actually. And here goes Johansson, who's now having a Red Bull behind him. No train going on.
Let me have a look. It's Klaus or Mohammed Patel.
It's really the last thing you want to qualify. I think one of them should actually box and just let a gap form or something. In the meantime, Patel there. And FG.
Patel.
It's really clear of
Very
Patel.
nasty. He's trying to qualify his teammate again. The streets of Singapore. He's lost 152. So I think he won't. Hope he does a really good sector in Sector 3, but I don't think it's going to happen. And speaking of which, another Sauber driver is outperforming again. I'm actually seriously thinking that the Saubers are doing really good here in Singapore.
Let's see, Glock in P12. That's a really good, strong performance from the American driver, the only American driver on the grid actually in the Sauber. Zolga in P15. About expected in the Sauber, as it's definitely not the fast guy. Here is in the meantime Dennis Graf, who is also walking up towards that little train. And well, I don't think he is really pleased to see him ahead, but he does improve. But now get past that train of two McLarens, a Mercedes and a Red Bull, and a Williams.
Graf is catching up to the McLaren pack, and Susti moves up into P9, or is it? Okay, yeah, it's P9.
It's P9 in the Toro Rosso. Decently strong performance from them as well, as they have been really lacking so far in the Toro Rossos. Was both really.
So what happened at Monza, and Patel and Johansson is in the pits.
That's the only wise thing to do, to be honest. Here goes Dennis Graf, and he doesn't improve actually. He must have lost
improve on his
somewhere.
time, but he needs to find a way to get past Frederick Suto as quickly as possible because he's holding up his progress.
Yeah, here's Blakemore in the meantime, 1.3 seconds down. That seems like an improvement towards the leading towards the pole time, but we'll see what it leads him to.
Well, I think after having that podium in Monza, I think I might do well in the rest of the season. I don't know. We have to find out.
Let's see. Of course, street circuits are very different than permanent circuits, especially as these tight and slow type of corners really get on your nerves. Who is that in the meantime? That is the Mercedes of Daniel, and he is
goes to
2 tenths
position,
ahead.
and he snatches away Dennis Groff's crown.
As we can see there, camera not improving. Here's Alfred Klaus, the man who was stuck in traffic a few moments ago. Now is running into traffic again. It seems as there in the foreground we saw Graf and Suto stumble away. And I wonder if he'll be affected by it. I think he will at some point. It says 6 tenths down. Doesn't even improve his own time. As in the meantime, Real Patel does improve his time to put him into P7.
Good performance by the Renault driver so far. Here is the third Swede of this championship is Alfred Klaus.
In the meantime, Klaus is in the chase of 2 other cars in traffic, and Johansson's coming out as well, and he is literally last, the Swede. Definitely wants to improve himself there, and I wonder if we'll see him jump up actually. Here goes Klaus, stays P5.
He's in P5.
Here's the Italian Giulia Giusetti, and she is definitely improving 5 tenths off compared to that will put her in P4.
I think Testy could go for a flying lap, but could go for a smashing lap unless she messes up in the middle sector.
Well, that's of course a risk in a good lap. Don't mess up. As in the meantime, Johansson still last. As everyone apart from Protstrup is out actually. As Des Simpson goes in, I should say that of course. But the big surprise of me is Jesper Johansson, the Swede, 3 tenths down on the McLaren of McIntyre actually.
Just career over, and I'm gonna do a jaw draw. So.
Well, I certainly believe we'll get another surprise from Johansson, but Johansson's really been struggling this year. But the car and the team, it seems, she has been really either underperforming or overperforming. It's a mix of both. There's no in between for Johansson, it seems. Giusetti here. Finishes sector 2 right now, I think. Now goes into sector 3 actually. This is sector 3.
The last couple of corners.
Assetto's actually in
No
there.
test hits. That's actually surprising that she wanted to finish off the lap.
Yeah.
Oh god, voice crack.
Is that maybe trouble for him? Or for her, actually, I should say. I did not misgender her, as in the meantime, FC there. It doesn't improve his lap time.
He's now on pole position.
Gunner's
gone in the pits to refuel, I think. We have around like 5 minutes left of the session now.
As more surprises. Let's see. Brad Kim McGinty and McLaren seem fairly normal. Project isn't really a surprise. Well, apart from that, there are no big surprises to be honest. Apart from Johansson missing there, it's not really the big surprise there.
And Gamba, and FC moves on into second place. That's probably led by Miran FC, but will he take away Danny's position?
We'll see. As here's Patel there. The Patel.
One of the Patel's brothers. Patel. On the topic of Patel, I think he's done alright this year. Oh, he goes 2.5 up on the this time, so he could be pole position unless the Renault gets out of the way.
I don't know. I think that's actually his the man who shares his name, Rail Patel, but I can't be sure. Yeah, that is Rail Patel I had there, I think. And I wonder how that will play out for Mohammed there. The Red Bull there really seems to be stronger now. It's there in the meantime. Albon goes to P8.
That's going lap by Dane.
So slipstream there, and the Renault goes in.
Really good moves for Mohammed Patel. It goes a little bit wide, gets bounced off the curves, so I don't think it will be good. Alios stays in P4.
You can go for another run if you want to, I think. His tires seem fairly fresh. As that Renault ahead of him must have been really holding him up there. As, yeah. He doesn't improve, as the gap between the top 4 is fairly big, as there top 3 is kinda close, but then we see Patel who actually misses out. There he is, Jasper Johansson.
P4. He's finally out to the rough, which is P20.
But there, look at that.
Mohammed Patel was 300 temps up on his the original time, and he's 300 tops in sector 1. So I think now. And he hopes to get the Sauber to get out the flipping. Oh god, I can't resist the swearing, ladies and gentlemen. I just can't.
There it is, Patel indeed, who is stranded behind the Sauber there, and I think that's gonna really gonna affect his lap there.
So this qualifying could be very close.
Now they actually improved his time as well. He's 7,000 off literally of their Centennial. I wonder, as there 5,000 yeah, again there, the trouble.
It's definitely getting hampered by the Sauber.
And that's not gonna be enough there, I think. Yeah, John forms a gap. And this traffic really struggles with him there, as the dirt, yeah, and stuff affects him. Now in the final few corners. There, I think this is an in-lap for Patel. And I wonder if he comes out again. There's Sauber. There, Project goes into P2, and there Patel finishes qualifying. He doesn't go out there, so he bursts the wall actually.
And he hits the wall just for good measures. And Miran FC is getting held up by the Renault.
Yeah, that is Patel again.
Yeah, it's one of Patel's. It's Rahul Patel.
It is.
So this could be pole for Danny, but unless
no,
unless FC manages to get across the line, and here we go.
Williams P7. Williams.
That's really good.
As in the meantime, Klaus.
Klaus
is also stuck in the traffic jam pretty much. As here we see Klaus there, and he's down, really down this time. That's not gonna be an improvement.
Traffic paradise.
As it is traffic paradise indeed. As here, and Dennis Graf also held up by that McLaren, and I don't think they'll be happy with the McLaren at all. And yeah, it seems like Patel's qualifying is over. Johansson doesn't come out either anymore. FC 3.3 seconds down. I don't think they'll improve anymore, as there the Renault of
there's a Renault Renault. So I think Darbus Daniel's gonna take his is it gonna be his first pole position of the season?
No, he has more pole positions. But here Kulasek And I think they dropped gaps towards him. Here, there's Graf actually there. Might have brushed the wall or something, or jumped the gap. Whatever it is, it's Simpson who goes in P11 in the meantime. As Arnold goes in P7 actually.
Ten Mercedes power cars in the midfield are starting to get really great around here, unless aim is Sauber.
Let's see, in the meantime it's FG who still stuck behind the McLaren, and I don't think he'll improve. And he doesn't have another lap, so that seems to be the pull for Daniel.
And for good measures,
in the meantime, is in P17 and Glock is in P19 again. The checkered flag has fallen. There, but Daniel doesn't come out, and Mirror FG doesn't improve. There's Graf is pretty much in a traffic jam.
Daniel takes his pole position.
And
McIntyre moves up into P19 ahead of Glock.
How's y'all going right now?
Arnold. I just realized Su is all the way Frederick Suto is all the way down in P14, whilst I'm in P8. This could be interesting.
It certainly would be. Sushi Arnold finish up the lap time.
Are we gonna finish up to lap time, or is he just gonna go into pits?
We'll see 4 cars remaining. And that sees Terabos Daniel in pole position, unless Arnold can do something beautiful.
Crosses the line and he stays in P7. 1:48.593 for Alexander Arnold.
Yeah,
but he's ahead of his midfield rival Blake Moore.
Here's Suto in the Williams, and he seems to be on the lap there. But that sees Terabos Daniel on pole position for the Mercedes, as the both Ferraris are on P2 and P3.
And still goes P17. I can show up now. I'm going to do the grid.
There you can see the grid. So it is Terabos Daniel, Miran FG, Dennis Graf, Jesper Johansson, Mohamed Patel, Alfred Klaus, Alexander Arnold, Blake Moore, Franco Gamba, Rail Patel, Victor Albom, Courtney Simpson, Volta Kulasek, Frederick Suto, Russell Prochuk, Giulia Cisetti, Valin Zolga, Enes Paretsky, Lewis McGinty, and Andrew Glock. So no big surprise anymore, as Johansson really improved himself there in the meantime. As this is the grid. The 2 Mercedes are split by 2 Ferraris, and there in the back is a Red Bull actually looking. So we'll see if there can be anything done. So there's quite a lot of wind actually. We'll see. As the 5 lights are about to go on. As you can see, Daniel, what can you do on pole? It's lights out and away we go. It seems to be a tense start there from everyone. As there it is, Terabos Daniel, who's already under pressure there from Dennis Graf. As in the meantime, there's a collision there, that's FG, and then it's Johansson out, and that's a massive crash.
We're in the wall.
That's a massive crash there at the start already. Look at that, the whole pile up there. So in the meantime, that is Daniel, who is leading away with Dennis Graf and Mohamed Patel in the background. A huge exit at the start.
And Arnold's up to P4. That's a brilliant start by the German. He got lucky with the Mercedes and the Ferrari crashing.
That is Dennis Graf, who chases down that was Daniel actually, but the two Swedes actually stuck. As the 2 championship rivals are out.
That's the worst luck of any top driver since Bahrain. My God.
Dennis Graf tries to chase down for the Mercedes. The 2 championship rivals collided there. The 2 Swedes are pretty much out of this race already.
Well, there's only 1 Swede left, and it's Mohamed Patel. And I think they're blocked for pit entry, so I think the Stewards needs to clear those 2 cars out on the pit lane exit. So it could be dangerous. So
I think they've been cleared up in the meantime. As we continue racing, and Graf tries his best. to
Best trying
get close to the Mercedes of Daniel.
Daniel is starting to pull away from the Ferrari.
In the meantime, it's Patel in the background as well. Yeah, Patel also really interested title candidates, as we have also Alexander Arnold in the Force India P4 actually. Very good result. It will be a very good finish for him.
His lap 1 completed, Daniel is in the lead. The Singapore Grand Prix, and now DRS is now enabled.
As we can see there, there's Graf, who is more under pressure from Patel than Daniel is from Graf. I think if I said correctly, yeah, I said correctly.
Yeah, here's also be of interest Kulisek and Protsyuk. About Simpson's trying to get past the McLaren of Lewis McIntyre.
Yes, indeed you're correct there, but I don't think Simpson is really in the place to overtake someone right now, as he's a bit far back. Here they go on the straight and exiting sector 1 right now, and they'll get away a bit from each other. So there's Russell and Protsyuk in the Haas there, P9. Ahead of him is his teammate Victor Album. Behind him is Volja Kulisek, rounding off the top 10.
Donald's getting close to Mohamed Patel, so it looks like the German's got pace now, at least.
As we can see, the gap started to form a bit. So I wonder if there's here's Frederick Suto.
That is a terrible start by Frederick Suto, the Slovakian, whilst his teammate is all the way up in P7. He needs to make up some places if he wants to retain his Williams seat next year. You know, he's took a podium in Baku. He still needs to prove that he's still worthy of the seat.
There's Cody Simpson, who is closing in politely on McIntyre.
But McIntyre's going to get the slipstream on Sesti. Giulio Sesti.
As we see there, McIntyre might have trouble there with Giuseppe there ahead of him there, so there might be a little team game from the two Toro Rosses there. Pit wall, and which tells Giuseppe to hold up McIntyre. But meanwhile, it is still Daniel leading away with 30 laps in this race. And there might be traffic in play, as it seems like Suto is having some type of trouble. That's why he can't keep up with Paretsky in the McLaren, who is a bit further back.
And Simpson's getting close to McIntyre, but looks as if he's pulling away because there's a Sauber right ahead of him. Right ahead of her, sorry. I slip up sometimes.
Serious Patel, who is behind his teammate Kulisek, who is out of the points right now. Patel, while Kulisek is in the points ahead of him.
Remember in Baku, Kulisek was on course for a really good result until he crashed into the wall at turn 1.
Yeah, he was there. It was a really strong pace there from Kulisek at that point, but then he messed up in the first corner. We don't know what happened there, to be honest, but. Yeah, big shame for Kulisek there. Other than that, we don't really have seen anything from Kulisek. Here is Giulia Cisetti trying to close in on the Sauber of Balenciaga, the Italian in the Toro Rosso, who hasn't made the strongest impression so far. It goes for both Toro Rossos actually, as they both had the trouble. But now they can redeem themselves. So I wonder if as Graf in the meantime sets the fastest lap of the race. Doesn't goes by a few tenths, of course, but or a few thousands actually. But yeah, Cisetti there really has to prove himself to not be replaced actually by one of the feeder series drivers.
Test drivers for the. So Frederick Suto's caught up with Perensky very quickly, so he. Maybe on the charge to get some points. He's
far from the points right now. Far from home, as I say, as Suto there definitely catches up to the McLaren. So here he puts a bit of pressure on him there, but that costs him exit speed, which will cost him on the main straight actually. As we can see,
I'm starting to realize something. I'm starting to lose pace. Like,
There might be tire trouble, who knows, as in the meantime there.
4 seconds behind Gamba. Even though Williams and Force India are almost basically equal, I'm.
Just drive faster, take better care of your tires, is my message towards Blackmore. As here's Kulasek closing in on Project actually in the Haas. And that Haas is not really benefiting a slipstream from his teammate there. As we can see Kulasek there tries to find a spot there, but there's no real place for a big dive bomb. That's a street circuit.
The only big dive bomb you can do around here is like in sector 110-4.
Yeah,
you need
but they're
to
far from there.
get really close to the car in the Assetto Corsa because the car ahead got DRS.
Yeah,
Thomas Daniels fastest lap of the race. Gama sits a 154.16. Something tells me this is going to be a boring race.
We'll see, the race is not over yet. Let's see there, but as there, he loses out on the straight. That doesn't count for Giulia Cetti with that Renault powered Toro Rosso there behind the Sauber there, who is powered by Ferrari power. As there, she starts to lose McIntyre a bit behind her, as Tsulga should feel the pressure from Cetti in the meantime. But there's no place to overtake so far, as they're just too far back. And this is the trouble with modern Formula 1 cars. They're just, the dirt air really makes it tough for an overtake.
Too wide or too thick.
Yeah, as well, but the aerodynamics don't help either. As Cetti there. Now, just with the dirt air, struggles again.
Coos, I'm sorry to put your theory in the bed. Well, on to Mercedes. I got a podium. Just come on now.
As in the meantime, Suto in the Williams really disappointed as well so far. He made a terrible start of the race, and now he's just chasing a McLaren there, which is kind of painful being a Williams driver. Well, your teammate Blackmore's a P7, P18 for Frederick Suto is definitely not the result he wanted at the start of this weekend. He still doesn't want it, of course. But now, yeah, he also starts to lose a gap.
Again, because fully. Frederick Suso, before I joined Williams, he's looking like a really good driver, but after I joined Williams, well, he's literally on the back foot after Silverstone.
Well, something must have happened there within the Williams team. So now the Renault teammates are really close to each other actually, and it's 8 tenths between them still. As the gaps stay a bit the same so far, apart from Graf and Terrible's Daniel, who started to catch up on each other a bit, with Graf being the changeover, of course.
Graf is getting a little closer to Arnold as well as Gamba.
As Patel there behind also looks for a place, as it seems like Terrible's Daniel finally starts to hit tire trouble, and it might be time for Graf to attack.
And also time for trouble for Albon because he kept pushing against Blankmore for like couple laps and he just worn out his tyres, so he could be an easy target for Protsiuk.
Yeah, well, definitely. As in the meantime, Graf seems to lose in the middle sector, but then wins a lot in the first sector, which is obviously the main straight and the straight after that.
The Ferrari on the straights are just absolutely ridiculous.
Indeed. But we'll see if the Mercedes of Daniel can put enough defensive work up for himself to keep the Ferrari behind actually.
There's Mohammed Patel, and also Mohammed Patel's starting getting joining on the fun. He sets the fastest lap of the race.
He does, as they're really a class of their own. There are nearly 2 seconds between the top 3 and the top lap times, as Arnold's at a 150 and I think the 151 actually, and the front runners are setting at 149.
In the midfield currently, and I don't expect me to see this every day. That's the Sauber sets a really quick lap time. You don't see this every day.
It might just be clean air for them. His Simpson, the other tour, was also a bit disappointing.
Behind Proxiuk, so he can make a move on the Russian driver.
He has the gap for the leaders. Patel, and 9 tenths. Soon will become 8 tenths, I think. No, it goes 1 second actually, of course. That's really what you'd expect after saying something as a commentator. As in the meantime, now they're going a little straight away, which might see a little advance for the chases, considering the slipstream is very strong in these cars. As there is a lockup actually from Jarabos Daniel.
And this could be advantage for Patel and Graf.
As in the meantime, 9 tenths start to shrink for Jarabos Daniel, and he might want to watch himself soon before Graf sets a move on the inside.
By the Renault power unit and the Ferrari power unit cars behind him.
There he is. This Graf. And he tries to keep him behind, of course, but I don't think he's really successful right now. So start to catch up.
Currently slowing the Patel and Graf, so this could be detrimental to the title fight for Graf and Patel, trying to get past the Mercedes.
As we're lap 8 of the 30. So we really aren't under the finish line. So anything can happen in this race yet. As I think backmarkers there, as there is Frederick Suto, still chasing down the McLaren.
He still hasn't got past him.
He's just too slow so far. As in the meantime, Klaus there is catching up to Arnold in the Force India. Wonder if Arnold has some kind of problem. No, it doesn't seem like it.
Klaus, because he's in the powered car, but currently he's in a Force India sandwich. Klaus.
He is indeed. Let's see, we don't seem to really, they don't seem to catch up on each other, but that does count for Dennis Graf on Jarabos Daniel actually, as Daniel starts to catch up. And I wonder if Graf is brave enough to place a move somewhere actually.
So I think the real like overtaking point for Graf is to get like 5 seconds or under ahead of behind Daniel, so he could make the move. That's my realistic opinion.
So you can see maybe on the straightaways there, you might be able to put it alongside, but he has to get a clean exit out of the corners. Yeah, they start to catch up on each other. And I wonder who is the closest, who is the biggest, the man with the biggest balls so far. As it is 8 tenths again. Become 8 in 1 second actually, as Graf must have really messed up his exit, as there Patel comes to me back to him. And
this is literally time ping pong currently for the top 3.
It really is. And I wonder, it seems like Graf really catches the Mercedes on the wrong spot of the track in the middle sector. That's the last place I really want to catch someone in this circuit, as you really get slowed down by all the dirty air, of course.
But I think Daniel keeps pushing. He will run into the back markers and could be a target for Graf and Patel. Because traffic around this place is very, very, very idiotic. Very hard.
The traffic has been a lot of trouble this year all the time, as there is no luck in there.
Daniel got up.
The traffic has been very often the cost for the win this season. Graf.
We saw that happen with the Johansson in Spain, where he recollected one of the back markers of which is a McLaren, I think, and Blake Moore took 4th place, which is no bias, which is true. I'm just stating the obvious.
7 tenths there, as Arnold really falls back with 10 seconds. He is really behind. And it seems like Arnold will catch up to Graf sooner than Graf would catch up to Daniel. As we can see, that is a close gap as well so far, but they all start to drop significant pace right now. So now I'll go in the 150s actually. That's very odd to me, as they used to go into the 149s actually, and they're really middle of 149s. Now they went to 150s. That's really similar pace to the other rest of the field right now. But yeah. Seems like McIntyre or something. She's really behind there as well. Giulia Cisetti there can't get closer to the Sauber actually. This must be very frustrating for her. As the cars pass by. This beautiful city with a really nice atmosphere with all the lights and stuff, and yeah.
You say atmosphere?
Sorry?
You spell atmosphere wrong, like really terribly wrong.
I don't know, but anyways, I can see Patel try to get past, and there on the straightaways, getting it past. No, he seems to be too far back, and that's not a place where you're gonna want to do a dive bomb there, being Arnold, being Patel actually. So we see 1.3 seconds, so Graf might have been pushing a bit too hard on his tires. Or Darabos is starting to push again, as Graf starts to lose ground towards him.
Well, Graf and Daniel, Graf and Mattel on medium tires, but okay, it's not relevant. It's definitely not relevant. This race, because time management is not actually exist.
As we can see Klaus there. Can he make ground up towards Arnold? I think he can. But then again, getting close to it is one thing, getting past it is the second thing. In the meantime, that same thing goes for Giulia Cisetti. Who must get the master exit of master exits to get a run on Zora actually. 6 tenths, they become 5 tenths. And Cisetti there, 10th fast that lap. And she's still not past it. As we can see, 7 tenths. Still he's 7 tenths.
Even though Singapore is amazing, all the racing is blows really badly.
It's better than last week's Monza, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Is that the gaps were just where like 10
because
seconds?
The only overtake we had in the middle part of the race, it's Blake Moore overtaking the Frederick Suto. Even then, it's an overtake because Suto got damage. Yeah,
it was. As the gaps really were huge gaps actually, as there were like 5 seconds between each other. As right now the closest gap is 8 tenths. Last week the closest gap was at least 7 seconds. As it is Cisetti there, so can't put pressure. The Strand Patel there, same thing goes for him, as he can't get close to the Renault. And the Renault there can't really make up anything. We're on lap 12, as in the meantime there, Darabos really sets a faster lap time, it's 2 tenths faster actually. As we can see there, yeah, the gaps really start to become the same. As the gaps start really fast now, Graf and Patel must fall in tires trouble actually. Us in the meantime, Cisetti there, 9 tenths down, Simpson 8 tenths down. The Toro was really not being able to follow through the sections. Yeah. Let's see. I wonder if Frederick's going to play. No, Assyria is Frederick Suto, the closing one in the field. Here is Darabos Daniel, and I wonder if they will run into traffic at some point there. But the gaps seem a bit too small for that at this point. Here he is, in the middle sector. We're on board now with Frederick Suto actually. And Suto is still chasing down McLaren, but he is not able to make up a space. Make up a gap actually.
He's still stuck behind the McLaren of Perensky. This is going to be the worst weekend for Frederick Suto. Dennis Gross has the fastest lap of the race. So Graf might have found his full form back. Or is it just a false alarm?
Either way, what it is, the gaps really start to widen up again. As the Suto can't get close. Same goes for Paratsky, same goes for Glock. They all can't get close to each other. The only one close is Kulasek right now, who is 7th zone. As we can see them really not being able to get close to each other, really a shame to me. Is 1.2 seconds for Klaus actually. Where's over here? And Klaus can make up the gap with Force India.
That Klaus still hasn't got past Alexander Arnold yet.
You're right, as the same goes for Suto, who still hasn't got past the McLaren, but he seems to make up a bit of space. There really compensates his exit there.
A little bit wide.
There's now another. Can't get close to each other. Who can get closer is Dennis Graf again. But look at those tires there, in dark spots. As you can see, the gaps, it might have been just a slipstream advantage there for Dennis Graf. I see now Thomas back up it again. But it's definitely not over for Darabos Daniel, as Graf down down and looking for Darabos Daniel. He seems to struggle with the brakes or something. Who knows? As the 7/10 it comes. And now this the trouble is really starting to struck Daniel. As we're on lap 14 from the 30, and the battle has gone us on again.
No, there was no overtakes yet. On lap 1, there was 0 overtakes. Looks like you need to refund the calendar next season.
It's 9/10 again.
Just a waiting game.
Yep. There right now, Dennis Graf coming closer. And look at this there, Zetti finally made up ground. Now can she stick a move somewhere? I wonder.
But he's wide.
That getting close is one thing, but getting past the second thing, especially on the street circuit here in Marina Bay. That's very tight.
The only street circuits he can actually overtake on is this Argentinian circuit that I cannot pronounce the name.
Well, we're not racing there right now. With those white cars, it's just very tough to overtake in general. We can now see Giuseppe there. And see now lose the gap again. It was only for a small one, which was close. As it is, let's see, 9 tenths again. We're still too far back for the Italian there. And well, I raced to forget for the Assetto in the meantime. B18 there. Very disappointing. It's still too far back to make up a space, being very Assetto. Make up a gap. They can't get past each other, that's the problem. Getting close is one thing, but following for a few laps, okay, but after a few laps, the tires really start to overheat and stuff due to dirty air, as a speed trap there. I think we see that, so now we can see Graf starts to catch up again. Singer switches at there, and here is Dennis Graf. We go off board. This is 1.1 second, and now Patel actually comes to play again, and Patel really is serious contender as well for championship. So now Patel is closing in faster on Graf, and Graf is on Daniel again, same story. I think Daniel is picking up pace, and Graf is now without enough tire life left, so he has to manage himself right now. Sort himself out.
The week left of the Singapore Grand Prix, and it's incredibly boring.
Serious Suto there. He's still too far back. There's a leader. There was Daniel.
Wait, where is Frederick Suto?
P18 still, and he is now onto the main straight into the first corner. So no traffic for them either.
So I think Daniel might not catch up to him.
You might encounter him on the last. If the pace rate seems to be the same, then they might catch each other on the last few laps. Right now the pace of the front runners is just higher than the midfield. That's just the obvious right now. But yeah, very different scenario than last week's race. In Monza, where it was just a lot of trouble with the first few corners, actually, where half the field pretty much eliminated himself. Patel there tries, but can't get close enough to really put pressure. So in the meantime, it's 16 seconds from Arnold to Patel. This 9 tenths it is for them, and yeah, Arnold is also faster. Klaus in the Rebel has really surprised to me, as the Rebel definitely is faster than the Force India, but the Force India is not able to catch up. So the gap started avoiding again. Same story again.
Going down the tires.
Yep. The only closest gap so far is this one here. For example, but he can't overtake either. It is Frederick Suto, who is now on the pretty much the second long straight, and too far back again. He just is. It seems like he is just 6 tenths too far back each time, so he has to be at least 3 tenths behind to really get past him on him. Really get 3 tenths behind Paretsky to get past him there. So out of them, that's Glock, and Glock is 4 seconds behind Simpson, who is then again 7 or 8 tenths behind McIntyre and McLaren. Yeah, same story again. And the gaps restarted to widen. There are 1.7 seconds from Daniel to Dennis Graf. And 1.4 seconds between Graf and Patel.
Korsic. Sorry. Can't believe I have to commentate this boring race.
Well, this one is. More. Really 10 seconds behind well. But 10 seconds from Blake Moore behind Franco Gamba in Virginia.
Right now.
Really struggling, the wind's really struggling it seems.
It's gonna be the second time this season where Arnold's gonna finish in 4th place. I think the first time he finished in 4th place was in Austria. So will be a really good result for Force India. Next result for Mercedes, next result for Red Bull, and next result for Ferrari as well. Well, so I think the team will be, if it stays like this, well, the team will be going home happy tonight. Will be Force India.
For sure, indeed. That's, yeah, they are really one of the only ones who are consistently running in the same place as the Mercedes, Ferrari, and Red Bull. Really, either they're really good or they just struggle to even finish at some point. It's just last week we saw that
whilst they hit the back of the Corsa and there's a broken steering wheel, and I'm like, oh no, it's gonna be Cesti all over. It's gonna be the Cesti show all over again.
That's the thing we know. She likes to block the track occasionally.
But he got lucky. It's the final lap. Good lock up.
As it is, the gaps stay the same. Although Simpson gets a bit on the edge on the back of the McLaren, same goes for Giuseppe on the back of Zolga right now. Yeah, but two DNF so far, which go by the name Jesper Johansson and Miron FG.
Like kneeling retirements today.
Two Swedes might want to have a little discussion with each other in Swedish language I don't understand.
I don't understand Swedish language.
Yeah. Yeah, it seems like Patel is really dropping pace right now. Is there a problem by the Rebel driver?
Because his waist is always locked up.
Yeah. No, it's such a fast lap time on the way. It's his own fast lap time. They're
so
close.
Close to Arnold, so I think this could spoil Arnold's parade unless someone actually overtakes around the circuit, because whoever designed this circuit in Assetto Corsa should be taken to the dark room and.
As in the meantime, it is Klaus who catches up towards Arnold. And Arnold's really falling back as he's 20 seconds behind. He's losing a second per lap pretty much. As the slowest man on track right now is Frederick Suto. I think the fastest man on track still is Darren Daniel. Really just drives away pretty much. Yeah.
Okay,
Klaus is 20 seconds behind the leader. Gamma is 24 seconds behind the leader. Then Blackmore is then 36 behind, and Albon will be 47 seconds behind.
Klaus is getting very close to Gamba.
Getting
Arnold,
close is
Arnold,
one thing. Yeah,
Arnold, what am I
getting close is
doing?
one thing, but getting past is the second thing. These guys really don't know how to get past each other, it seems sometimes.
is going.
The 140 or 52 for the back runners. I wonder what the front runners are actually running for the lap times. Because their pace is completely different there actually, but it seems like Daniel really knows how to keep going.
Even though his time's wear out.
He doesn't throw himself away there. He's really calm in these conditions. Simpson.
There's only 9 laps left of this Singapore Grand Prix.
No laps remaining indeed. The gaps here 152 and 153 actually for the last 2 drivers. And we'll see 153 is for the last for the drivers in last. And I wonder what the drivers in front will set then. So let's see. They're really far behind. The Williams Assetto is really struggling there or something. He might have damage or something on the engine perhaps, who knows. It's definitely not the race he wants, as in the meantime. That one's 49 there. So with that rate, they would nearly touch us there. Suto gets closer on towards Paretsky.
It has no damage, Frederick Suto.
I don't think so. From the outside he doesn't seem to have damage. On the inside you never know. Those Formula 1 cars of course are very sensitive for all types of damage, so yeah. You really need to watch yourself. In the meantime, 1.4 seconds. No, that's the gap between Paretsky and Glock. There's 2.4 seconds on behind Simpson. The biggest gap definitely is Arnold towards the podium sitters, which is 21 seconds. Yeah.
Over Rahul Patel and Kulisek.
Because there it's still Daniel is still 33 seconds behind the front row, so I don't think they'll lap each other. 1 minute 17 and they're running behind. So yeah, big gaps seeing for there's Simpson 7/10 behind. McIntyre in the McLaren. It's an alpha race for him as well, for the turbos, as they desperately need points.
Everyone looked up, like, wait, what the hell? Everyone looked up at the same time. I just thought.
As in the meantime, Patel tries to close in. Let calm back at cost. .4 seconds and Patel really fast falling back. He's 3.5 seconds behind. Yeah, the gaps really don't seem to close, as it's 7 laps remaining for this Singapore Grand Prix.
It's been such a sham, because after the turn 1 incident, I'm thinking, oh yeah, it's been an exciting race, and I'm now bored out of my mind. I have nothing else to commentate.
Yeah. As apart from the 2 retirements at the start, everyone is still running, apart from the Swedes. Let's see, 8/10 for Patel. Behind his teammate Kulisek, they're still battling for points. But Simpson there. Sometimes behind McIntyre, but McIntyre and Simpson really aren't battling for anything apart from just a bit of honor finishing P14 instead of P15. Now Patel starts to close up, but I wonder if he can get past actually. So now can slipstream a bit. And Patel, nope, too far back, still no overtake. Frederick Sudo is here. Next thing that will happen is Daniel. Now should start to feel the pressure again from Graf.
But I think he's a secure track position from pole position.
Not at all.
I don't know, unless, you know, well, actually, Dennis Graf is actually catching up to Danny very quickly, actually.
He is, but then getting past again on this track is very tough. I was seeing him be close so often, but he just couldn't make it past, it seemed.
I'm using Singapore next year because it produced a very equally boring race.
The gap starts to wind again. It's no different than otherwise. The Mercedes guy just is stronger than Graf, and Graf just runs away. He just has to really manage himself. He's really just racing against himself as the other drivers really can't get close to him. So unless he makes a mistake, which he kind of does, he locks up. The win is his. It seems like Graf just can't overtake him for some unknown reason.
It's Singapore, a street circuit. What do you expect? What do you expect it to be? The temple speed once it overtakes.
A lot of mistakes from the drivers.
I want Daniel to make a massive mistake or bend it in the wall or something. I don't know.
He seems to keep it out of the wall so far. Uh, 1.1 seconds behind each other. Seconds there. Still no place to overtake. So really just wait for them to come with them down, and there's no lock up. And for Darrell's Daniel, this race can't finish soon enough, but for Graf, this race can't keep going on for long enough. So I wonder if Graf will make a last lap move or something, as we saw one of the F2 boys do in Spa, but so far it just doesn't seem like it.
Because Singapore is just basically Asian Monaco. Literally, barriers everywhere.
You haven't seen Macau, luckily, and we're not planning on racing there with these cars, luckily.
We're never gonna race at Macau. If you want to see Formula E cars at Macau, well, you're asking for a death wish.
Pretty much, as some cars really struggled in Hungary with getting past one car. Now imagine if one car is being lapped there on Macau. Well, it's pretty much broken there. That's just not gonna work, of course. So here we see our drivers already struggled to overtake on this pretty wide version of Macau, and they can't overtake each other either. There, and there's some bridge, and they still won't see each other there, the back markers. There in the back of Patel actually comes into play again. So has Patel been just saving up energy? That's really taking up a long time for the Red Bull then actually to save up. But now here you see.
He's there and he's shot the ball.
Now all the gaps are over over a second actually. I wonder if we'll see any closing gaps. Here's Connie Sims in the slipstream there of McIntyre. But again, he loses out on the exit, it seems. But McIntyre must have made a mistake or something, actually, I don't know. But it's 16th now for Simpson, but it's still too far back. Because McIntyre loses him in the first corner. And here's Daniel.
Sousa just got master. Daniel's getting through the final corners here, so this could be an interesting end to the Grand Prix unless Frederick Sousa decides to fall behind, because
as this might actually be a grand slam there for their boss Daniel if he puts fastest lap in. As that will be fastest lap of the race, pole position in qualifying, and lead every single lap, which he so far has done actually. A bit of history there in the ACOC. As Setti there also falls back again. He was close for a moment, but now falls back again. And now the cars really start to change. The gaps actually. Yeah. As the gaps, they're really inconsistent. As they start to form and then they fall back a lot, and then they start to form and fall back again.
won't fall back again because the tires are because Singapore is a flaming hot country. The tires cannot handle the heat, so basically the drivers has to go attack and then fall back. It's kind of like Monaco.
You're right. As it is 8 then, Steph Simpson. And still to go back. As is yeah, the gaps don't change anymore. And this race really is a given one for Darabas Daniel. Unless Suto, there's someone in the background actually. I don't know. I don't think that is the top 3 already. I hope not, at least. Yeah, no, it's definitely not the top 3 behind.
I would say Daniels doesn't. I think Daniels not gonna. I think Daniels could win. Is just going to win this race now because
it's all his to lose right now. As the cars behind him really can't make a move or something. As it's still just Daniel leading. Who has led every single lap of this race so far. Has done everything he needed to do. Secure pole position and set the fastest lap, I think. And win it. And now
it's gonna be a grand slam for Daniel.
Indeed, he's going for his grand slam, the first one in the ACOC. And we'll see if it's gonna be true. That will be a bit of history you would witness. As in the meantime, we're gonna start to fall back again. As usual.
This could be the right decision with Daniel because Frederick Sousa just lost the line. So
I think Suto there is not anywhere close to them. So you go into the penultimate lap right now, and the gap starts to become bigger and bigger again for Darabos Daniel, who is far ahead of Dennis Graf. Far ahead, but like 1.7 seconds. That's quite big for the ACOC standards. No one really can make a pass. I think there haven't been too much swapping around, or swapped around places actually.
There's only a couple of swap around places only on lap 1, and
right.
That's it.
Still 30 seconds behind is Alexander Arnold.
You're not gonna overtake the Force India.
I don't think he either. It's still. Was there a Glock? Yeah, it gets closer, but I don't think he can make it to Simpson. The race has been quite under control of Darabos Daniel, who is now on his way towards the third sector. It seems like I can't get close anymore. So, yeah.
We will start the final lap now.
So you go indeed in the final lap there. It is Darabos Daniel who is leading him away. And the last lap for the drivers. And the battle is pretty much already done. Unless Darabos makes a huge mistake. Which sends him in the wall, but otherwise I wouldn't see a reason why he couldn't win it. So here he goes, final lap is there for Darabos Daniel. Goes on this straight for the last time. Who has been leading from start to finish. With his teammate DNF with Miran FG. It is Darabos Daniel who really conquers right now. I see.
Race as well.
I think he did indeed.
Looks like it could be. Obviously, Darabos Daniel could be on course for the first Grand Slam in ACOC history.
You're right. There he goes, second sector, and Graf, but I just can't get closer to him, and they can't get closer to each other either. So yeah. As here he goes on towards Anderson Bridge for the last time as well. No braking. And there he is, Darabos Daniel, who is now entering sector 3. Last time braking here. And about now in the third sector, the tight last sector there, Darabos Daniel, who is here for his, who was on pole, who says the fastest lap, and really just dominated the field today. Here he is, Darabos Daniel. Keep your applause going for him as he goes through the last 2 quarters. Darabos Daniel, the one with the first Grand Slam as well, as he now rounds the final corner, and he is gonna win here in Singapore. Is Darabos Daniel, the Mercedes driver, with Dennis Roman P2 and Mohan Patel P3, and Alexander Arnold far behind P4, Arvid Klaus P5, Franco Gamma P6. They all have to finish, of course. But what a performance that was from Darabos Daniel, who really dominated
This race.
So yeah, the race was really dominated by the Mercedes driver there. As he was really in someone I didn't expect for sure this race. As I expect the Rebels to be really fighting for victory. But there's going to be two, and Alexander Arnold and Klaus finally finished their race.
The circus race hard to overtake, but and I was expecting Klaus to get past Arnold very easily, but Arnold kept bucked the bus and kept Klaus behind. And Blake Moore's going to cross the line in P7, which is a good day. Albon, and Plutchuk is finishing in P8, P9. That is a alright day for Haas, and Corsa takes the 1 point for Renault. And it's a very, very terrible day for Frederick Suto. Fourth the locking driver got held up the entire race by Kerensky.
As that is the race indeed, and we're gonna check if we had the fastest lap time. No, actually, it is this Kraft, so another Grand Slam there for Darabos Daniel. That might be the only spot on a very clean weekend there from Darabos. But that's it for me today, and Blake. So that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this somewhat timid race, and we'll see you back next week in Malaysia. Goodbye.